Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unravel the mysteries of corporate filings. Today we're diving into INDAPTUS Therapeutics Inc. And let's just say this filing has more twists than a pretzel. Get ready because INDAPTUS Therapeutics Inc. just dropped a Form 8. That's packed with some pretty significant moves. We're talking about a big investment, some shakeups in leadership, and a whole lot of paperwork. Stick around as we decode what this all means for the company and its investors. First up, let's talk about the big news. The company entered into a securities purchase agreement with a gentleman named David E. Lazar. It seems he agreed to buy a pretty substantial chunk of preferred stock, 300,000 shares of Series AA convertible preferred stock and 700,000 shares of Series AAA convertible preferred stock. This is a pretty hefty investment, totaling $6.0 million. Now, why is this so important? Well, these shares can be converted into common stock. The Series A preferred stock can convert into 20 shares of common stock, and the Series AAA preferred stock can convert into a whopping 150 shares of common stock. If all goes according to plan, this could result in a combined total of 111 million shares of common stock. That's a huge potential increase in the number of shares out there, which can really affect the value of existing shares if not managed carefully. This agreement also comes with some strings attached, particularly around getting stockholder approval. INDAPTUS has to use its best efforts to hold a special meeting of stockholders by March 2026. This meeting's agenda is quite packed. It includes getting approval for issuing common stock to Mr. Lazar upon conversion of his preferred shares, amending the company's charter to increase the number of authorized common shares, allowing shareholders to act by written consent, adding 3 more directors nominated by Mr. Lazar to the board, and approving a reverse stock split. If the stockholders don't approve everything at that first meeting to raise a backup plan, they have to call a second meeting within 90 days. If even that meeting doesn't get the required approvals, the company has to amend the Series AA certificate of designation to allow for immediate conversion of up to 19.99% of the outstanding shares, following NASDAQ's rules. This shows how critical these approvals are for the deal to fully play out as intended. The company plans to use the money from this offering for ongoing operations, general working capital, and to cover expenses related to getting these stockholder approvals. It's a common practice to use new funds for essential business needs and the costs associated with securing such significant deals. There is also a participation period in the agreement for 6 months after the deal closes. If INDAPTUS wants to offer more equity securities, they have to give Mr. Lazar the chance to buy up to 25% of those new securities on the same terms. This basically gives the new major investor a way to maintain his stake, or even increase it if the company raises more money in the near future. Now, let's talk about the impact on the company's structure and leadership. We saw some pretty significant director resignations. Mr. Robert E. Martel and Ms. Hila Kara both stepped down. Their departures were reportedly not due to any disagreements with the company, but it's not all goodbyes. In connection with the purchase agreement, the board appointed David Lazar as chairman of the board. Dr. Roger Pomerantz will continue to be a board member, and Mr. Avraham Ben Tzvi was also appointed to the board. These new appointments filled the vacancies left by the departing directors. What's really interesting is that Mr. Lazar also became the co-chief executive officer of the company, effective at the closing of the deal. This shows a clear intention for the new investor to have a very active role in the company's management. Let's look at David E. Lazar's background. Hes got a wealth of experience in leading public companies, having served as CEO for several others like Calabio Inc., Novabay Pharmaceuticals Inc., Phi-A Inc., and more. His track record suggests Hes no stranger to navigating the complexities of the corporate world and capital markets. The board seems to believe his expertise is crucial for the company's future. Then Terez Avraham Ben Tzvi has a lawyer by profession, specializing in corporate and securities law, and has extensive experience as general counsel for various companies, including those on NASDAQ. His background in legal and corporate governance is undoubtedly valuable, especially given the upcoming stockholder approvals and potential changes to the company's charter. He has also served on the boards of several other public companies, giving him insight into board dynamics and strategic oversight. The company also made some changes regarding its executive officers. On the 22nd of December 2025, they entered into employment modification agreements with key executives like Jeffrey A. Meckler, Michael J. Newman, PhD, Numa Sassi, and Walt A. Linscott. Mr. Meckler is moving into the co-chief executive officer role. These modification agreements involve some interesting terms. The executives agreed to reduce their notice period for termination to just 10 days and waive their original severance benefits. In exchange, they received a combination of stock and cash payments. For example, Mr. Meckler received over 216,000 shares of common stock and about $1.26 million in cash. These arrangements seem designed to align the executive's interests with the new investor and the company's evolving strategy, while also addressing past compensation and potential future departures. On a separate note, Dr. Roger J. Waltzman, the Chief Medical Officer, resigned. He will be leaving at the end of December 2025. He's getting a cash bonus for 2025, and both he and the company have agreed to a mutual release of claims. This is pretty standard when an executive departs, especially in the middle of such significant corporate changes. Another key piece of this puzzle is the voting agreement. The executive officers have agreed to vote all their shares in favour of proposals recommended by the board at the special meeting and any future meetings until the agreement terminates. They also agreed to certain standstill provisions, meaning they can't take certain actions like acquiring more stock or campaigning against management until the special meeting issues are resolved or for a year, whichever comes first. This ensures that the new board and management have a clearer path to implement their strategic plans without significant opposition from existing shareholders. Now, let's touch on the specific details of the preferred stock designations filed with Delaware. The Series AA preferred stock is convertible into 20 shares of common stock, and the Series AAA preferred stock is convertible into 150 shares of common stock. Importantly, these preferred shares rank senior to all common stock and any future junior securities. They are on par with each other, meaning the Series AA and Series AAA preferred stocks have equal standing. In the event of a liquidation, dissolution, or winding up of the company, holders of preferred stock are entitled to receive a certain amount before any distributions are made to common stockholders. This amount is the greater of their original investment of $6 per share plus any unpaid dividends, or what they would have received if all their preferred shares were converted into common stock right before the dissolution. This provides a layer of protection for the preferred shareholders and their investment. Interestingly, these preferred shares generally don't have voting rights except where required by law. However, the consent of a majority of preferred shareholders is needed to make certain changes that would adversely affect their rights, such as altering the terms of the preferred stock or changing the company's charter in a way that impacts them negatively. This is a common mechanism to protect the interests of preferred stockholders. Looking at the exhibits, we see the specific documents outlining the Series AA and Series AAA preferred stock designations, the securities purchase agreement with David Lazar, various employment modification agreements with executives, a separation agreement with the former chief medical officer, and the form of the voting agreement. These are the legal documents that formalize all the actions we've discussed. Now let's try to put this all together with a bit of opinion and analysis. INDAPTUS Therapeutics, Inc. is clearly undergoing a major strategic shift. The influx of $6 million from David Lazar is significant, providing much needed capital, but it comes with a substantial change in control and direction. Mr. Lazar's appointment as chairman and co-CEO, along with his ability to nominate additional directors, signals a strong desire to steer the company's future. The success of this operation hinges critically on getting stockholder approval for all the proposed changes. If those approvals don't materialize as expected, the company faces potential consequences, including accelerated conversion rights for the preferred stock, which could dilute existing shareholders significantly. A notable risk here is the potential dilution from the conversion of the preferred stock. While the new capital is essential, the sheer number of shares that could be issued upon conversion needs careful management. The company's strategy to use these funds for operations and general working capital is sound, but the effectiveness of this capital will depend on how well the new leadership can execute their plans. The company's ability to navigate Nasdaq's listing rules, particularly regarding shareholder approval for stock issuances, will be paramount. Overall, INDAPTUS appears to be at a crucial turning point. The company is betting big on this new investment and the strategic direction it brings. The next few months, especially around the special meeting, will be critical in determining whether this will be a success story or a bumpy road ahead. Alright, that is our deep dive into INDAPTUS Therapeutics Inc.'s latest filing. What is your take on these big changes and the potential impact on the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more corporate decode sessions. Don't forget to check out our Discord community linked in the description for more in-depth discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.